December 1980. A cold, dark night in Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk, England. What began as a routine patrol for two U.S. Air Force airmen would soon become one of the most compelling UFO encounters in military history. This is the story of the Rendlesham Forest incident, a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. A story of strange lights, government cover-ups, and questions that still haunt those who witnessed it. To understand the significance of this event, we need to go back to the Cold War era. RAF Bentwaters, a U.S. Air Force base in Suffolk, England, was a critical site during this tense period. It housed nuclear weapons and was a key strategic location for NATO. The base was on high alert and security was tight. So, when strange lights were reported in the nearby Rendlesham Forest, it wasn't something that could be ignored. The forest, dense and eerie, bordered the base, making it a potential security threat. On the night of December 26, 1980, two airmen, John Burroughs and Jim Penniston, were sent to investigate. What they encountered would defy explanation. Burroughs and Penniston entered the forest, expecting to find a downed aircraft or perhaps a meteor. Instead, they stumbled upon something far more extraordinary. A glowing metallic object hovered silently among the trees. It emitted a bright light and seemed to pulse with energy. Penniston later described it as having strange hieroglyphic-like markings on its surface. The men approached the object, and Penniston even claimed to have touched it. Suddenly, the object shot into the sky at an incredible speed, leaving behind 3 indentations in the ground. The airmen were shaken. They reported the incident, but their superiors were skeptical. However, the story didn't end there. 2 nights later, on December 28th, Deputy Base Commander Colonel Charles Halt led a team into the forest to investigate further. Halt, a seasoned officer with a background in physics and disaster preparedness, was a natural skeptic. He went into the forest that night to debunk the claims, but what he found left him stunned. Halt and his team discovered 3 indentations in the ground, forming a perfect triangle. Radiation levels in the area were 10 times higher than normal. As they investigated further, they witnessed a glowing object in the forest, a red eye-like light that seemed to drip molten metal. The object moved intelligently, avoiding trees and emitting beams of light. At one point, a beam of light shot down near the team, illuminating the ground just feet away from them. Halt recorded the entire event on a handheld tape recorder, capturing his real-time reactions. His memo, later declassified, remains one of the most credible pieces of evidence in UFO history. After the incident, things took a strange turn. Witnesses were allegedly interrogated, hypnotized, and even injected with truth serums. Radar tapes from that night mysteriously disappeared. Colonel Halt believes there was a deliberate effort by both the US and British governments to cover up what occurred. When asked about the incident, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher reportedly said, "You can't tell the people." Why would governments go to such lengths to suppress this story? Was it to avoid panic? Or was there something even more significant at play? Of course, skeptics have offered alternative explanations. Some claim the lights were from a nearby lighthouse, while others suggest it was a meteor or even ball lightning. But Colonel Halt and his team were adamant. What they saw was no natural phenomenon. The lighthouse, they say, was clearly distinguishable from the object they witnessed, and meteors don't move intelligently through trees or emit beams of light. So what was it? Was it an extraterrestrial craft? A secret military experiment? Or something else entirely? The credibility of the witnesses is a key factor in this story. Colonel Halt was a respected senior officer with over 18 years of military experience. Jim Penniston and John Burroughs were trained security personnel. These were not men prone to exaggeration or hysteria. Penniston, in particular, has stood by his account for decades. He even made plaster casts of the indentations in the ground, which he claims were left by the object. Despite the ridicule and skepticism, the witnesses have remained consistent in their stories. Their accounts are detailed, compelling, and, most importantly, corroborated by multiple people. Over 40 years later, the Rendlesham Forest incident remains a mystery. Colonel Halt, now retired, still stands by his account. He believes what he saw was an intelligently controlled craft far beyond human technology. But the question remains, who or what was behind it? And why did they visit a forest next to a nuclear base? Some researchers believe the object was drawn to the base because of its nuclear weapons. Others suggest it was conducting reconnaissance or even attempting to communicate. Whatever the truth, the Rendlesham Forest incident is more than just a UFO story. It's a reminder that there are still things in this world we don't understand. And perhaps some secrets are too big to be told. The Rendlesham Forest incident is just one of many UFO encounters that have been reported over the years. In recent years, governments around the world have begun to take UFOs, or UAPs as they're now called, more seriously. Declassified documents and official statements have revealed that these phenomena are real, unexplained, and potentially a matter of national security. But the question remains, why the secrecy? What do governments know that they're not telling us? And are we ready for the truth? What do you think happened in Rendlesham Forest? Was it an extraterrestrial visit, a secret military experiment, or something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mysteries of the unknown. Until next time, keep looking up because the truth is out there.